With the transfer window fast approaching, a lot of news around the club has been about what players the Hoops will sign and sell to better their team and try to improve on this season. We will go over one story in particular that has caught headlines, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Former Rangers midfielder Scott Arfield, who was on commentary for Celtic's 1-1 draw yesterday against Rangers at Ibrox, revealed that Brendan Rodgers was particularly unhappy with one Hoops star during the first half. With Celtic trailing 1-0 at half-time, one player frustrated Rodgers hugely during the first half. However, unless you were at the game or listening to Arfield's commentary, you would have missed it. Interestingly, it was a player who has impressed at times this season, but has yet to deliver that standout Glasgow derby performance you would expect, despite his hefty price tag. Arfield said, "We have a lucky point of view here where we can see the two managers. I am watching Brendan Rodgers for the last 10 minutes. I was talking about Barry Ferguson being on Jeff Day. I am watching Rodgers and he is on Arne Engels, like a couple of the players are," he said. It shows that Engels' lacklustre first-half performance was picked up on by Rodgers and his teammates, with the Belgian likely having had a talking to at half-time. Rodgers is known for demanding high standards from his players, especially in big matches like the Glasgow derby, and Engels' struggles in the first half would have certainly caught his attention. The fact that Engels continued to play in the second half suggests that Rodgers initially saw potential for improvement, but given the fact that Engels was substituted for Paulo Bernardo just 18 minutes after the restart, it's clear Rodgers felt he wasn't offering enough in the game. Engels is still only 21 and has plenty of time to develop, but given he's Celtic's club record signing, more will be expected of him going forward. If he wants to be a regular starter next season and beyond, he'll need to find greater consistency and step up in the big moments, especially in fixtures as important as the Glasgow derby. Now for the main story, as Celtic loanee Gustaf Lagerbielke has reportedly been priced out of a permanent move to FC Twente in the summer by the Hoops. According to Twente technical director Arne Engels, the 25-year-old defender has impressed during his loan at Twente this season, becoming a regular starter. However, according to Twente's technical director Arne Engels, the price Celtic are asking for is too high for the Dutch club to afford. Lagerbielke has impressed during his loan spell at FC Twente, starting in most of their games and even scoring for the Dutch side in the Europa League. Twente managed to reach the knockout playoffs before being knocked out by Bodo Glimt in extra time, with Bodo Glimt now in the semi-finals. Twente, currently sitting 5th in the Eredivisie, have shown interest in making Lagerbielke's move permanent. However, it is unclear if Celtic are asking for the $3 million they paid for him in 2023, or if they are asking for a different amount. Twente's technical director Brugink has not revealed exactly what Celtic are demanding, but he has made it clear that the price is currently too high for them to afford. He said, "In this case, we are dependent on what Celtic want. They are asking for quite a bit of money. He is a very stable defender. We would like to make the deal permanent, but I think it is not very realistic at the moment," he concluded. Lagerbielke's performances have impressed Twente, however, they are set to face competition, with Celtic hoping for a bidding war in the summer for a player deemed surplus to requirements by Brendan Rodgers. However, the high asking price from Celtic seems to be a barrier. Lagerbielke still has 3 years left on his contract at Celtic, and the Hoops clearly value him highly. If Twente can't reach an agreement, it's possible that other clubs across Europe may show interest in signing him, with Lagerbielke eager to stay in the Eredivisie. It remains to be seen what will happen when his loan ends, but Lagerbielke's future at Celtic is still uncertain. His time at Twente has given him a good opportunity to prove himself, and his performances could open up more options for him in the summer. In other news, Brendan Rodgers was snubbed for the PFA Scotland Manager of the Year award last night, with the honour going to Falkirk boss John McGlynn instead. Rodgers had made the three-man shortlist after an outstanding season in charge of Celtic, where he has already secured the Scottish Premiership title and the League Cup, sits 17 points clear of Rangers, and is preparing for the Scottish Cup final against Aberdeen. He also guided Celtic into the Champions League knockout stages for the first time in over a decade, an achievement that seemed to cement him as the clear favourite. Yet the award went to McGlynn, who won the Scottish Championship with Falkirk. It was a strong campaign for his side, but far from perfect. They were pushed all the way and only confirmed the title with a 3-1 win over Hamilton on the final day of the season. While credit is due for getting them over the line, it's hard to argue the scale of that achievement outweighs what Rodgers has delivered at the highest level. Rodgers returned to Celtic amid pressure and doubt, but he's silenced the noise with silverware, consistent results, and top-level management in both domestic and European competition. His team has shown character, control, and quality, and now stands on the brink of a domestic treble. To be overlooked in favour of a manager from a lower division, especially when his side didn't even go unbeaten, feels like a baffling call. This isn't to dismiss McGlynn's work, but when measuring up the challenges faced, the expectations handled, and the success delivered, Rodgers' campaign stands head and shoulders above the rest. For Celtic fans, the message is clear. The work Rodgers has done this season speaks for itself. The trophies prove it, the points gap proves it, Europe proves it. The PFA might not have handed him the award, but Brendan Rodgers is without doubt the top manager in Scotland this season. Lastly, Brendan Rodgers has provided an interesting update for Celtic supporters looking ahead to the final 3 league games of the season. With the Premiership title already secured following the 5-0 win over Dundee United last weekend, the Irishman is planning to use the remaining 3 matches to give opportunities to players who've not featured much this season. One of those players is Johnny Kenny, who came off the bench in the closing stages of today's Glasgow derby against Rangers. The Irish striker has had a stop-start spell since returning in January, spending time on loan in recent seasons, but his return to the first-team squad could be a sign of things to come. Brendan Rodgers confirmed after the match that several players will be given rare first-team opportunities in the upcoming games against Hibernian, Aberdeen and St Mirren in the Scottish Premiership. He said, "I think there will be. I think our idea is to get to the cup final in the best possible place that we can in terms of the availability of players and players getting some minutes. But like you say, some of these other guys are getting opportunities and getting minutes, but with the same ambition and desire to win games," Rodgers said. It's a smart approach from Rodgers, who clearly wants to balance preparation for the Scottish Cup final with maintaining a winning mentality in the squad. While some regular starters may be rested, fans can still expect a strong team and a professional attitude on the pitch. These final league fixtures now offer a platform for the likes of Kenny and others to show what they can do. Players who have been working hard behind the scenes will be eager to take their chance, especially with places up for grabs in the squad for Hampton against Aberdeen. With the title in the bag and the cup final ahead, Rodgers is making sure that every player feels involved. For supporters, it's a chance to see some fresh faces in action and perhaps a glimpse into Celtic's future. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.